Hello and welcome. I'm Patrick Curtis, Chief Monkey of Wall Street Oasis, and this is Monkey to Millions, a show where you get a front row seat as I mentor young students and professionals to try and help them break into their dream jobs. In the first cohort, you'll meet 4 students, all preparing for intense job interviews while trying to also balance a personal life and schoolwork. The goal of this show is to shine a light on the struggles of trying to break into competitive positions with a non traditional background and to give you a roadmap for your own success. My hope is that as you get to know these 4 impressive students, you are inspired to dream big. Remember, these are real people and this is their true story. Let's get to it. In this session, Victor and I review his updated resume. While it looks much closer and looks more polished, we dive into each bullet and I push him to be more direct and less vague to give the reader more substance. We go over the differences between sell side and buy side, attack one of his internships from 3 years ago, and debate how best to show his financial modeling training. This session is probably best viewed on YouTube since it's over an hour and 20 minutes long, and for most of it, I'm sharing my screen as I walk through his resume. Enjoy.
All right, Victor, welcome to our second session.
Thank you for having me.
I'm super excited to get started and take a look at your new resume. From what I've seen, it looks like it's in much better shape, but definitely have some feedback there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, tell me what you've been up to since the last time. And we spoke, I think, about 3 weeks ago, right? It wasn't.
Yes. So I took maybe the first week and a half to just make sure that my resume kind of gets to that level, work into that level that you wanted to be in top tip shape. I sent you that first draft. Then I looked around my LinkedIn. I tried to kind of get ahead of it. I don't know if I did a good job, but I tried to, make sure that it looks clean and nice. And we'll probably get to that. Then I started on your course, the technical interview first. And as I was probably telling you offline earlier, maybe a week before too, I thought that I went to Georgetown. I majored in international economics and finance. I have the background. It should not be that hard. First 2 weeks was breeze, but starting third week, I have to, it's my third time going back because I read it and I don't understand it well. So it kind of got tougher and tougher. I think, it was a very humbling experience.
You focus mostly on the technical portion first?
Yes.
Good.
Portion.
Yeah. So you haven't done the Excel modeling or anything like that yet, correct?
No. I wanted to get the technical portion first.
Yeah, because you have interviews coming up potentially, right?
At the end of February or early March.
Yeah, so it's good. It's good you're reviewing it first now. We'll do it again in a few weeks and then again, and then we'll potentially get some mock interviews. But
awesome.
let's jump, since the resume is kind of the most important document for your entire job search. Let's share screen and I'll actually just edit it right here or start doing it with you.
Perfect. I'm just going to open this up. I put it as a resume up, not the updated resume, but resume in progress, so that
so that I wouldn't be so mean.
Yes.
No, but it's in better shape.
Okay.
Format, I'm biased, but I like the format because it's the WSO format.
Yes,
of course, pretty proven. In terms of, let's see, I'm going to zoom it in a little bit so it's a little easier to see. Okay, so for this, just looking at it, standing back and looking at it, spacing is still a little bit of an issue. So like we have a big gap here and this feels a little crunched. So between each of the main sections, we should have a standardized space. And then between each of the actual experiences, slightly less. So you probably were just trying to crunch it all in because you removed a lot of stuff, right?
Yes, I did.
But you did a good job. It doesn't feel like, you still feel like you have a lot of space down here. So I would utilize that by like potentially adding in a row in between each of these sections here. And if those are, see this bringing it onto a second page, don't worry, we can fix that.
Absolutely.
Because there's extra space here for sure. Oh, not letting me delete.
So what I wanted to put that on the education, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but on the education. So I want to put there like 100+ hours WSO, Excel course, because Goldman also sent me this VIP program, Financial Edge, 2 courses on quantitative modeling and the investment track. So I can put those there as well. I'm kind of working on both level. I can put up like a bullet there.
You're doing a little bit more like S&T, it sounds like. So see little things like this. You see how that bullet was misaligned?
Yes, yeah.
So like, it's so stupid, but like that tiny attention to detail, like that's the type of stuff that people look at because they're so easy. Like it just looks like you haven't been as careful, right? Like little things like
Yes.
this. There's extra spaces. Like this document should be like look like spaced
Perfect.
perfectly. It's because it's like for a client meeting, like these pitch books. That's how crazy they get. They're like, you need to add a comma in footnote 350, or page 273, the seventh. It's like tiny little text. He's like, you're missing a comma. Literally, I had an MD tell me that at 4 a.m. after I had
I see.
and I remember
It's
taking
not-
notes and thinking to myself, what the F are we doing here? But that's the level of detail, that we really need to get to. So I'm sharing my screen, but like, so I think like one full space here is fine. In between each here, maybe what you can do is you drop the row size to like a 6 or a 4. So it drops a little bit. So it makes it a little bit tighter here, but whoops, that didn't work. I meant to say 4. There we go.
Yeah.
4 here.
Yeah.
Oops, keeps doing that. It keeps thinking I want 48. I don't want 48. Okay, and then 4.
So 4 in between those work experience,
Yeah,
and
and
then
I'll send
there's
this to
full.
you. Yeah, I'll send this to you. And then this still feels like it's too big. I gotta get rid of. You know what's helpful?
Yeah.
I think layouts. View grid lines.
I played around, but it just felt like I'm just gonna leave this for you to see it first.
Yeah. Did you
Then
do the layout view grid lines? Did you see that?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So that's helpful. So you can see there's an extra row in here that we don't really need. So what I can do is delete cells, delete entire row, boom,
Okay.
and then that'll bring that up. And so now same thing with here. Let's delete this row.
Cool. Patrick, on this leadership, I left it because the Goldman
Likes that.
guys, yeah, they told me that put that under leadership, which
Yeah.
is you told me put up the experience. So I kind of left it like that. But if you want to kind of move it upwards, I can do that.
Yeah. So a couple things. Number one, you put your most recent work. Now you say contract here.
Yes.
I understand that's being very honest. That's good. But can we put that in your title more rather than up next to the thing? Because it really takes away. So Goldman Sachs analyst credit risk contract role, something like this.
Yes. I mean, I'm gonna rely on you to kind of make it perfect. So
I think that is still, it's being honest. You still have it there, but it's not bolded next to Goldman Sachs. So you get, you know what I mean? I think they're going to know that you're in compliance here in middle back office. So don't worry about the sound. Okay, so let's look at these 2 bullets. They're pretty critical because it's like your last thing. So monitored entities with live credit agreements with the GS to ensure they compliance with the terms of the agreement.
So while you're reading those, I'll tell you this. I reach out to my supervisor and the people who actually worked in my role before. What did they put? They moved on to the new companies or new roles. This is basically what they put. I just basically, because I've been here only a little over like maybe 14, 15 weeks. I'm still kind of learning, but this is the 2 things that very much, I would say 80% of my day-to-day job.
What do they mean, entities?
Entities that are like corporate entities, like for example, if they're bringing on board in like let's say Patrick Curtis, MST LP, that's an entity. Morgan Stanley entity.
But I think that's like, I feel like that's like, of course, credit agreements are always with an entity. So like saying entities is like redundant. So just monitor credit agreements.
Cool.
Or analyzed instead of monitored.
I monitor, also analyze. I do both. Because sometimes there is nothing absolutely going on if it's just affirmation or confirmation. And
monitored
I just
and analyzed credit agreements.
Yeah.
So with the GS, what does that mean? With the Goldman Sachs? With the what does that mean?
So here agreements that was signed by GS and with the other entities or supervised by GS. I just didn't know what to put there. I just left it there.
You don't just say with the. I think with the. This is where the written English is a struggle. Where it's going to be a struggle. So I think monitor and analyze credit agreements to ensure they remain in compliance with the Well, that's what remaining in compliance is with the terms of the agreement. See, again, you're very verbose and wordy. You're very flowery with the language, and it makes it feel softer. So,
I see.
wait, Manuel, how many credit agreements have you reviewed and
So
monitored?
far, I would say 100 plus. And this is the conservative side that I can confidently say.
I'm going to say 70 because 100 sounds too
Okay.
round.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll say 70.
Yes.
Monitor and analyze over 75 credit agreements to ensure they remain in compliance with the terms of the agreement. So what are you looking at in the credit agreements?
So I look at the compliance. For example, a few ratios, debt ratio, total net asset ratio.
Wait.
If they're yeah.
Fixed income ratio.
Fixed income ratio. So there is also there were EBITDA ratio. They have EV/EBITDA.
Yep.
That, and it's not for every single one of them, but this is
Do you
the
realize why
majority.
this is? Do you realize having this at the top of your resume? These key phrases it makes a big deal.
Okay, I don't, but I believe you.
No, because like there's searches around these like fixed income ratio, including fixed income ratio, EBITDA. So do you know what these are? If I said what's the fixed income ratio, would you be able to spit it off right away?
Yeah, fixed income ratio. Please don't quote me, but this is I think fixed income ratio is the total debt over total assets.
I don't even know. I don't even. I think it's like I think you're right. No, I don't even know. So I just but make sure you study the technical
Absolutely.
guide.
Yes.
To know that EV to EBITDA is enterprise value to EBITDA ratios. So monitor and analyze over 70 credits to ensure they remain in compliance. Who is they?
They're the entities that
Okay,
Goldman
so
Sachs.
monitor and analyze over 70 credits for who? Who are these entities? They're clients of Goldman Sachs.
The clients of Goldman Sachs, or sometimes even third party. Goldman Sachs is kind of hired to kind of monitor they're good to go.
Okay, but they're clients.
Yes,
the third party.
true.
So monitor and analyze over 70 credits to ensure clients remain in compliance with. We don't have to say with the terms of the agreement. That's extra that we don't need, including fixed income ratio, EV to EBITDA. What else? EV to EBIT, net debt to anything like that?
Net debt, definitely.
Net debt to what? Net debt to EBITDA?
Net debt to EBITDA.
Or free cash flow?
Yes. Cash flow. Net debt to cash flow.
But what cash flow? Free cash flow? Or how do they define it?
Free cash flow. Yeah, free cash flow. I will add some more. There are 2-3 more on top of my head.
Yeah,
I
just think of that.
I will take notes. I said add
and make
ratios.
Sure you know all these definitions.
I would.
Like this.
Okay. Just make sure you know.
I mean, this is very because this is very. I mean, this isn't impressive that you did this. It's mostly looking at ratios, calculating. Were you calculating these ratios?
So I calculate, but it's also there just trying to make sure the calculation is right, because at the end of the day, I put my name on the report saying that this is good. So it's already calculated there, but I have to kind of do the steps, maybe 2-3 steps, and it's Excel based.
Okay, so here you said automated several labor, you meant intensive.
Intensive, not sensitive.
Intensive, labor intensive processes using Excel. Make sure you say VBA here. VBA macros. Resulted in reduced risk. You don't reduce risk by hours.
So what I mean by the reduced risk there, it's, for example, sometimes when you send out a report, like you have the coverage team is not right place. You have the someone who's not. So by automating that, it kind of takes that out of you. You don't have to.
But they're going to push you on this. Several labor intensive processes. Several. What do you mean? Like what?
First one was that you had the hand typing your coverage team, your the senior coverage and junior coverage. Second, you had to put what is the exposure level. You have to go check back the company's exposure level, making sure that it's good there. But what I did basically, I put in.
It's more like data. It's more like data entry.
Yes.
Automated data entry.
Yeah.
Processes. Instead of saying labor data entry processes. Marketers and reduce risk and saving of 100 man hours when over what time period?
Over a week.
Really?
So how I came up with this, and maybe again, I'm just going to give you, maybe it's too much, but this is how I came up to it. So one entity, if you put that in by just going one by one, net exposure, who's the coverage, have they been covered before? It takes about for each entity 3 to 7 minutes, right? And daily, I do like 20 of them on average, which is 100.
Let me get a sheet out.
Check my math there.
Say 5 minutes times how many a day? 30?
25 to 30. Let's do 30, yes.
Okay, 30 a day. That's 150
which
minutes.
Is 150 minutes. And if you do like now if it was before like 15 minutes or 20 minutes before, so that's what.
Now it takes this long?
Yes, it takes only 5 minutes. It used to take like 15, 20 minutes.
So if you're saving 10 minutes per thing.
Per thing, yeah.
Time times 20, you said 20 a day?
Or 30. 25, let's do 25. 25 is far. Okay, 300.
So 300 minutes per day.
Yes.
I don't think that is this divided by, 60 is how many hours per day? 5. It goes this times 5 days a week you're working, 25 hours.
Okay, cool. See, I went way over.
But that's okay. That's still significant.
Yes.
That's saving almost half an employee through some simple automation.
Yeah.
I
would say so.
Right. So you're telling me before you came and did this, they weren't using ECLV to process these things?
So they had it in place, but there was the people before me, they left. There was nobody else doing this job, and they expected this happen, but there was no one else to kind of train me. They showed me the old, unautomated way of doing this, and every day I just calculated it takes me this much to do one entity.
But they didn't have a macro already set up in the file.
It's not. It wasn't in the file. The macro was there, but these steps I had to kind of program in.
So you actually built the macro.
No, macro was there. I programmed in the VBA those steps. Those 4 or 5 extra steps.
Okay, so did they train you on that, or how did you learn?
No. Because I took a class on Coursera. From Excel beginning to all the way Excel to advanced, and that's what I learned. Yeah.
Okay, so automated entry processing results in reduced risk and saving of
25. Yes.
I'll just say 20.
20, good.
20 plus man hour.
So I set man hours, labor hours, and I kind of settled on man hours. That I thought that sounds okay, but
yeah, that's fine. Automated data entry process using Excel VBA macros resulted in reduced risk and saving of 20 plus hours per week. Okay, I think that's good. Looks much better now. Okay. I'll pat myself on the back on that one.
Yes, awesome.
Okay, so for the listeners out there, if they want to follow along on this, we do release all these episodes on YouTube. So if they want to watch what I'm actually doing on the resume, it's probably easier than listening on the podcast. But basically, we're editing some bullets here on this Goldman experience at Salt Lake. So, okay. Be clear, this is all still very much back office work, processing work, which is fine. But at least we make it look a little more financy. Okay, let's go to the next ones. Let's see what you did here. Altman, summer analyst, advised leading educational NGO on optimizing its price strategy and expanding services by building pricing and product simulation model using Qualtrics.
So remember you asked me, what did you use to do that? And I went and looked at it. It was Qualtrics.
Called Qualtrics?
Yes.
Okay. What is Qualtrics? It's like a simulation model pricing?
It's a simulation model pricing, yes. And it's a step-by-step process. It's not that hard. It took me maybe 2 days and afternoon to kind of try and test it. It wasn't like anything advanced model building. It was just you have to plug in the information, pull the data, and it'll give you the
But still, it shows you're able to jump into new software and figure it out.
Yeah.
Helped build 5 separate viewership models for the sports industry, allowing them to better track and identify the most profitable segments of all sports viewers.
So all
helping
sports
clients, helping clients?
Clients and the firm itself, because this was not designated. This is basically our own company.
So it's an internal research. Okay.
Yes.
Allowing the firm
Patrick, may I ask a question here?
Shoot, yes.
So I was kind of hung up on the leading education NGO. It seems too marketing-ish.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to put there, but it is an NGO.
Can you say who it is?
I don't have the name on top of my head, but what they do is basically they track down the college education and see how their life outcome turns out. People who stops not going to college or they go vocational school. And it's one of the actual leading ones. Actually, they are the leading ones. They have the market share close to 70-75%. I will put the name there once I find out. I mean, I don't remember it like at the top of my head, but I will figure it out and put that.
Yeah, because you might want to advise the name, and then you put parentheses on the educational NGO.
I see. Okay, NGO name. Okay.
Yeah, and you can say helped build 5 separate viewership models. Or
do you want me put the oldest?
What's involved? No. What's involved in a viewership model?
So the age, demographics, income, the medium they're watching, what kind of medium they used to watch, days and times, group, family, how much they spend.
But what's the point of doing this analysis of building these models? It was to allow your firm to pitch better?
Yes. And also if they go tell the NBA, hey, you guys are doing this wrong on TV. You should do this on Twitch. You should do this on YouTube. You should do this.
Got it. Allowing the firm to better track and identify the most powerful segments of all sports viewers. Did they use this? Did they use this analysis or any of these viewership models in actual pitches?
Yes, they were going to, because I was there only for 10 weeks. And
do you know how many times they've used this analysis? Was this new when you got there? Did you build this from scratch?
No, they were working. We're a team of like 20 people.
Okay, so you just helped build this.
Yes, that's what I put help build. Yeah. But I did most of the demographic and income section of each viewership model.
Okay. That's fine. You can get into that in the interviews.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's fine. I think that's better. It looks good. I like the 2 bullets.
That's what I want to. That's what I want to hear. That I did some okay.
Yeah. No. You. This is much better, man. There's less flowery stuff. It's more direct. Before you had like bullets that were like 3-4 lines long, paragraphs, and it was just like, and half the words were just like extra. Morgan Stanley calculated daily P&L for 10 convertible bond products for the trading desk increased database response speed by 5%. Database response speed, what does that mean?
So database response speed, again, the way I calculated this, and again, this was like 2 years ago, my numbers, I'm going to go very conservative to kind of be able to back this up. So every day I would get this, the 10 convertible bond products, sometimes 10, sometimes 8, sometimes 12, but I put an average 10.
Yeah.
So each single one of them, I had to kind of call the trading desk, and they walk me through the trade details, size, and everything.
I can just say 8 to 12.
Okay, perfect. I put 10 just
that's fine.
On average. Yeah. So
I don't think we want to capitalize this.
Oh, okay.
Products.
And trading desk, they would tell me the basic trade details when it settles, how much will it settle, and what the terms of the trade. So putting those in the database again was just a data entry, but it was 3 different databases. 2 of them was proprietary. I don't remember, but one of them it would just involve Excel. I would just upload the Excel and then just tease out the information. But it was just again very manual process. So instead of that, I put in the VBA. And the macros was there. I just put in a VBA. I automated my steps every day. Once they give me the information, I plug in, and it was automatically, involved. Let's say it would take me maybe 15, 20 minutes. Now it was like 2-3 minutes.
That's awesome. Okay, that's good. I like it. Again, you're sounding more like a developer. They're going to want you to help them improve their processes. Is what they're going to do. Okay, assisted in producing the weekly management committee report and deliver presentations on equity and debt deals up to 25.
So I put up to 25 because you told me that 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would happen with this?
It could be like 3 people, but sometimes it was big, like 20.
No, not really. It was always more than 15, 20 people. Everybody was on Zoom, certain time frame. There were people from South America, someone in Japan, South Asia, North America.
This is
Europe.
really good. This bullet's really good because it shows you can present in front of people and you're confident with that.
Yes. So what I said, assistant producing, because I did mostly the market makers, Goldman, and it's Morgan Stanley and its competitors.
So you're saying, yeah, okay.
And how much money, how much deal they've gotten in the high grade investments.
Oh, sure. You're showing competition like on the equity and debt deals that have recently cleared.
Yes.
You're giving them like an overall report on the landscape.
Exactly. Yes.
That's great. So you produce a weekly management report and deliver presentations on equity and debt mandates greater than 500 million.
So I don't know what is it. Yeah.
I think that, or just 500 million. Like that would look better.
Okay. So on the mandates, is that a right word for it? I got hung up on it and I left it. I said, okay, I'll ask Patrick.
Did you say mandates? I think you put, I just changed it to mandates.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. And equity and debt, you could just say deals.
Deals, right? Yeah. Okay. Is it the same thing, mandate and deal?
Mandate's more like they're retaining you for like M&A. So I mean, they retain banks. They're retaining these banks for an equity or debt deal. So yeah, you can call it a mandate, but cool. It's almost like trying to sound too fancy. So let's just do deals.
Okay.
ISR Capital, Summer Analyst.
So just to recap, everything.
So, wait a second. What happened? So one of my questions right now. Yeah, things are looking better, but tell me about what's happening between these summers.
I'm in school full time, and I'm working as a Navy Reserve.
These are your summer internships.
Yes.
Yeah.
The 3.5 years I've been in school, I work weekends as a Navy linguist, and the summertime I do this, and then the semesters I go to school.
Okay, wait a second. Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service, International Economics, and Finance major? No. We lead with finance, the Science and Foreign Service. I wouldn't even say that.
Okay.
Because you're trying to get a banking job, right?
Yes. So
finance, Bachelor of Science in is it a BS in finance?
It is, but that's how it goes. It's just on my diploma, on my.
But it's still a degree. You have a Bachelor of Science in Finance, right? Oh, that's the name of it. International Economics and Finance.
Yes, that's how it comes. Bachelor BSSS, Bachelors of Science in Foreign Service, and the Finance and International Economics. That's the major.
But you have a separate. The major is Finance and International Economics.
Yes. So International Economics and Finance, but it's the same thing. So.
Yeah, so I'm going to reverse it because I want the word finance first. So when they see what's the major, finance, and then international
economics.
Yeah, exactly. And I took out the foreign. Like I think it's all cool stuff, but like if they want to dig on that, they're going to get to that in your multi-language in your Navy experience. They're going to dig there if they want to hear about it.
Okay.
Like the skills you have with language and all that stuff, and you also hit on it here. So I don't want to get too like. I think it's good to brand yourself as international and all this stuff, but I think it's good if we make it more financy. If we're really trying to break into banking here, we want to really try to just not confuse. We have good GPA from a good school with finance as a finance major. Period.
Quick question there, though.
Yeah,
the Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service. That's that's how the name goes in Georgetown, especially the School of Foreign Service. So I'm just asking you if they ask, they're confused. I mean, I just don't want to kind of. I want to be honest.
You have a Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service, but then don't you?
Yes.
Is it a dual degree? You also have a Bachelor of Science in Finance and International Economics.
It's not a dual degree. It's just the name comes a Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service. That's just the School of Foreign Service. It goes for everyone: economics, language, linguistics.
That's no matter what you do.
No matter what you do, yeah. Then comes the your major, whatever the major you majored in. I majored in finance and international economics with concentration in international commerce, and a minor in
that's
French.
Weird. Like any other school, you get a bachelor's in finance or in economics.
Okay.
Like your major is your degree almost. You know what I mean? Like it's a BS or BA in economics from my school.
Let me do this. Let me just actually take a picture of that, double check, and just send you the screenshot, and then based on what you say, I'll go back.
Well, I know the degree. What I'm trying to do is simplify for people who don't know about the Foreign Service School.
That makes sense.
I mean, you could say you say it here, Walsh School of Foreign Service, Bachelor of Science you could say Bachelor of Science and maybe just put a dash so it's less like in. Just say,
I see. Yeah.
you could even say major here.
Yeah.
Because
Should
it's
I
a
put my
Bachelor of Science
minor?
in Foreign Service. You're not saying in finance. You're saying it's a Bachelor of Science, and then
Yeah.
your Finance and International Economics major. So that way, does that make you feel better?
Yes. I mean, I just wanted to be kind of
Clear.
not clear, exactly, and
Yeah,
not,
because
also not
I
to
get
China
it. It's a Bachelor of Science in Foreign Service.
service. Yes.
But instead, I want to just call it, let's say you have a Bachelor of Science from Georgetown University, and it's your Finance and International Economics major.
Makes perfect
That's
sense.
what I want to really focus on.
Should I put my minor or no?
What's your minor?
French.
No.
Okay, cool. It's up to
maybe.
you. I just wanted to make sure that I asked you before I put it in there.
That might help you, actually. It's just getting long.
Okay.
You know what I can do? Finance Economics major, French minor.
Cool. Awesome. We didn't do the ISAR capital. Did you?
Yeah, let's go back. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I got all into this. So, okay, summer analyst, advise senior management on 3 strategic industries. Healthcare environment. So that sounds weird. Strategic industries. Any industry is really strategic. What do you mean?
Yeah, strategic for them, because that's what they they spend their monies and deals on. Maybe I should be a little more clear.
Yeah, advise senior management on
3 core industries.
Yeah,
for
core.
them.
I was going to say core, but why are you advising senior management? What was allowing you to do that?
Because I did most of the research. I joined as a researcher under the analyst. I did basically almost all the research. So when they needed something on those, for example, 2 companies were healthcare, one of them was consumer packaged goods, other one infrastructure. So I had to give them basic bottom line of their net income.
I think you say that on that second one, prepared and delivered bi-weekly 10 presentations. So was it bi-weekly or 10 total over 10? Is it 10 total presentations?
Bi-weekly 10 with 20 presentations. The weekly 2. So each week there was
just say
each week was Wednesday and Friday, or Tuesday and Friday. I would do or Monday and Friday.
Prepare and deliver 20 presentations to partners.
But this was basically internal, but the partners wanted to hear what's going on their specific issues that they're doing right now. The first one was I was brought in when they were seeing the clients.
So remind me, ISAR Capital, is that a private equity fund?
Private equity fund. I think last time I said 25 billion, but it was like a 17 or something like that, middle market. But if you want to pull Google, maybe
yeah, let's look, because
no,
I don't think it was a private equity fund. I think they advise private equity companies.
I see.
ISAR Capital. So do you understand the difference?
What difference
between an actual private equity fund and an investment bank or an advisory shop that advises private equity shop?
So I'll start with advisory shop. So it's just kind of a self-explanatory. Advisory shop is basically they work on the specific issues that private equity kind of maybe loan this out the work, so they can focus on whatever the core functions they do.
Think of it simpler. So think of it as like a private equity fund raises money.
Yes.
They take that money, they buy companies, and they sell companies for more money 3 to 5 years later.
Yes.
So they're raising a pool of money. This is the actual private equity funds, or a hedge fund, or a VC fund. And they're raising a pool of money, putting it together. That's typically called limited partners. So the limited partners come in, they, endowments, schools, institutions, whatever, pension funds, all throw in these checks. They pull it into, all those limited partners pull into this big thing. So it can be $100 million, it can be $500 million, it can be $1 billion, it can be $20 billion if it's a mega fund. That money then gets allocated by the GP, the actual private equity fund, to buy companies, sell companies, try to get a better return. So if they have a $100 million fund, they're trying to turn it into $200 or $300 million for their LPs, and then they get a cut of that upside. Okay, that's a private equity fund, that's a venture capital fund, that's any sort of buy side. That's what the buy side is.
That is.
That's why asset management, even in private wealth management, sometimes considered the buy side in the technical sense, because you're taking money in, you're making investments, and then trying to get a good return for that client. or for that LP in the private equity case. So advisory shop or consultants or bankers or all that stuff, that's sell side. They're selling services.
I see.
Think of an investment bank is still selling like a consulting service, right? Because they're coming in, they're saying, oh, we're going to help you buy XYZ. We're going to help you analyze this specific industry. Oh, we're going to serve as your M&A advisor for this specific acquisition of this new portfolio company, right?
Yes.
So when I look at this and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what is this company, IZAR Capital? For example, I can go to what we do, right? Immediately.
Advisory.
Strategic advisory, joint ventures, mergers and acquisitions, corporate finance, and capital raising. So they're helping advise all these people for strategic advisory. So like, let's say, do they do M&A? Private equity, debt investment analysis, valuation, and advisory. So they're helping doing valuation services. So private equity companies say, hey, we're thinking of buying this company. Can you help do some valuation on this? So it's investment banking services, really. And then their deal experience, they probably have Tombstone has acquired the IZAR Capital Group advised them on this, right?
Yes.
As buy-side M&A advisor. So they're doing a buy-side engagement here, meaning they advised this company to buy the other. They served as the buy-side. So they weren't, they're sell-side and buy. Now, that's also confusing. So you can think of buy-side and sell-side as like private equity, buy-side being like private equity, venture capital, hedge funds, where you're making actual principal investments. You're putting money to work. Sell side is like consulting, investment banking, where you're getting hired by those, typically those companies or other people.
To do due diligence and all that.
To do diligence, to do M&A advisory, to do whether you're helping them sell something or buy something, that is typically called sell side. But then to make it more confusing, now the banks, when they're advising somebody on a buy side mandate, that just means that they're helping advise on a potential purchase of a company. So here they're an M&A advisor. IZAR Capital Group served as exclusive financial advisor to DMC Partners. So I don't know what that is. It looks like probably for this acquisition. Oh, okay, no. So yeah, portfolio company of this has made a significant investment into DCMC. They don't disclose it. Portfolio company of this has acquired this. So IZAR Capital served as financial advisor to Intrepid Investment. So here they were on a sell. This is a sell side, right? Because this company acquired them. They were a financial advisor to Intrepid, who was getting sold, right? Because Nexus acquired them. So this was a sell side engagement. So they're helping sell this company. So you can think of sell side investment banking as like they're basically helping companies. They're advising them. They're not actually putting their own money.
Both sell side and the buy side, right? So private equity, they put their own money, they have the skin in the game. Investment banking is more of a like, okay, this is what the actual company is worth. This is the due diligence.
They're hired guns. They're hired guns.
Yes. Yeah.
Think of them as hired guns.
Okay.
Now, so when you say, blah, blah, the private equity, well, really, IZAR,
it's an advisory company.
They say middle market. It's a middle market investment bank. They have extensive U.S. with some specialty in U.S. and cross border. So they've done hundreds of deals with over $18 billion in transactions. So over the course, so the $18 billion is like the total amount of like all the deals they've done, and they typically would get a fee of that, somewhere between 3 and 10% or something like that.
I think it was 5 the last 3 deals that I worked on, but
yeah. So you get the idea. So let's go back. Does that make more sense?
Yes, perfect. Yes, perfect sense. This is the right after I, in my first year at Georgetown as sophomore, freshman/sophomore. I was a semester ahead, so I graduated. That's why I graduated in December. I could not find any kind of internship because they didn't take me. They thought that I want to be a manager. I told them like I wanted to switch, and a friend of mine told me that why don't you get in touch with these people? You won't get paid, but you'll have at least some kind of private sector internship on your resume. I basically worked for free for 10 weeks, but I learned a lot, at least like what is it that it doesn't take, to do the basic financial analysis, the research and all that.
Did you do any valuation work here?
I did not.
So you did presentations, but how were you doing these presentations? How were you sourcing this data?
They have. I use lots of open source, but they also have their own
What do you mean
proprietary.
What do you mean open source?
Google, Bloomberg, Morningstar, Georgetown gave us an access. Okay, so I use that.
So really, these two bullets are kind of the same, because you advise senior management and you present it to them, the same thing, right? That's what you were presenting.
They are different though. That's advice senior management was a client senior management. The second one is a part.
Oh, this is the client and this is internal.
Yes.
This is internal. Okay, so that wasn't clear. Okay, so advise senior management. But so what kind of client?
Maybe help advice, that would be much better, because I would call in a certain aspect of the presentation. The analyst would turn to me, hey, Victor, do you have anything to add? And when they ask a question, yeah, Victor worked on this. Maybe Victor should fill you guys in on this, maybe stuff like that. But I just put advice, I think.
So I'm going to say utilizing primary company database, Bloomberg.
And Morningstar. I remember that because Georgetown gave us the access to it. So.
Is that how you do it? No, check that. But so what were you pulling though? Like what specifically were you pulling?
So earning price share, last 3 years of financial information, their assets under management.
Generating 10% increase in actionable data. Like what the hell does that? I have no idea what that means.
So what is that? I'm sorry, what is that 10%?
You had, here, I deleted it. So generating 10% increase in action.
I mean, this is the partner helped me to write this, and he put 10%. To be honest, I really don't know why it is 10%. Why not 5%?
You don't have to always quantify. So like, there's a certain level where like sometimes you just presented, you gave insight. Like I am like all for stretching in terms of quantifying, because I think it really helps. But like when there's no place to quantify, don't force it like into the bullet, because it just feels
forced.
Like, yeah. So macroeconomic trends. This is so vague. What do you mean?
So like interest rates, companies' debt structure, the Moody.
What do you mean companies' debt structure? Where? Like overall corporate debt levels?
Corporate debt level. And most of these companies were based overseas, Latin America and Europe mostly. And the domiciled organization, the domiciled, where it was domiciled, that country with those the domestication that they had, it was 2016, I think. Yeah, some of them, Moody or S&P would lower their rate, so that would kind of have an impact. So I would give the basic 35 ideas what's going on with their interest rate, corporate debt level, unemployment level in the country, or any kind of political or geopolitical risk. Just few items to kind of let them know the big picture, then move on to the company level.
All right. So I said prepare and deliver 20 presentations to partners on macroeconomic trends. In parentheses, put interest rates, international economic considerations, corporate ratings, debt levels, etc. How's that?
Good. It's awesome.
I think they're going to push you on this, man. Like you better have like 1 or 2 countries that you know really well.
Yes.
In terms of what was going on back in May, in the 2017, and what was interesting, and one of the things you advised them on. Have 1 or 2 stores.
Turkey and Russia, because I spoke the language as well. And
okay, but you need to know that. And so what were they? Yeah. Why did a middle market investment bank give 2 shits about Turkey or Russia? Because they do it cross-border.
Yeah, they were doing cross-border investments, and the firm that was based in
What do you mean they were doing investments? They were putting principal capital to work?
The clients that were putting in investment. So it was a Turkish-based entity, like buying stuff in Brazil. So they wanted to know that, okay, this is the company that we understand, but this is the Turkish company. Can you give us a little more understanding what's going on, political structure? If we go invest in this company.
Why don't we say,
for example, the government of Turkey, is it going to come and take away the money? So it was kind of a basic understanding.
Delivered 20 presentations to partners on macroeconomic trends in Turkey and Russia, interest rates, economic considerations, corporate rating, debt levels. So in investments,
maybe stakes, would that be good
for clients? But you know what these bullets all struggle from? They all struggle from the vagaries of language. So they all struggle from like a strict like how you're translating into English, or the words you're choosing for English are either very vague or they don't really match. because there's like subtle differences in terms of understanding so like trying to really understand what you did is really hard from these bullets, which is a problem.
But did you understand what I tried to do?
Yeah, so like they had a client, so your company, Izar, had a client in Turkey that was selling goods in Brazil.
Yes, they were buying us stuff in Brazil,
Or buying stuff, importing.
Buying stuff in Brazil, the imported stuff. So the company wanted to know if they invest in this company, in that Turkish company, if they go as a JV, as a partner, or a small stake. So they wanted to understand the external factors, what was going on in Turkey, the interest rates. Should they?
They were a Turkish company or a Brazilian company?
There were two partnerships between Brazilian company and Turkish partnership.
Who were your clients, though?
A Brazilian company.
Okay, that's opposite of what. So, okay, for clients in Brazil, client or one client in Brazil, or do you have any other clients out internationally? Brazil, any others?
And Spain.
So your actual clients, meaning the companies that hired Izar, were in Brazil and in Spain. And the Brazilian company was looking at potentially a JV, a joint venture with a company in Turkey?
Turkey, yes.
And the Spanish?
And the Spanish one was looking into it was in South America. I think it was Dominican Republic.
What were they looking to do?
It was a consumer packaged goods. They wanted to set up the big stores, like Walmart kind of stores, but sell those goods.
So what was the Spanish client? Who were they?
The name?
No. What did they do?
Oh, they're like a Walmart kind of store.
Walmart,
okay. Consumer goods store.
Okay, and so they were looking to acquire a new place in Dominican Republic.
I think they wanted to go to minority stake. They buy something to bring the expertise and make money off of that. Help the Dominican company to set up.
There was a similar company in Dominican Republic.
Yes.
They were looking to make a minority investment. And then help them grow.
Yes.
And so, okay, they wanted to understand more what was going on in the DR and what was it like working there. So you're
yes.
Okay. Okay, clients in Brazil and Spain. And so when they ask, you're setting them up to ask you questions like, who is the client? They're going to ask you the same questions like, who is the client in Brazil? What do they do?
I will check
for that. And then they're going to ask, you're going to say, well, they were looking at a company in Turkey. I speak Turkish, so it was helpful. But this company in Brazil sold XYZ, or they did this, and they were looking at potentially a joint venture in da-da-da-da. So they wanted to understand more the Turkish, the macroeconomic environment in Turkey for these types of deals.
Yeah.
Did this result in an actual acquisition or any fees for your company?
I don't know, to be honest, because it was right at the beginning of the process, and it's all 10 weeks of work. So
okay, advice senior management. So this, I still feel like this first bullet. Advise senior management on 3 core industries. So senior management, what was the client?
The industry was healthcare, consumer packaged goods, and infrastructure.
No, who was the client? You said I advise senior management. Who was the client?
Name of the client. Okay.
No, not the name. What did they do? I don't care about the name. What did they do? Isn't that an industry? Like, was the healthcare, consumer packaged goods, and infrastructure? Aren't those kind of? You said here, this first bullet, senior management was a client of yours. It wasn't internal, or is this internal?
No, the second one is internal. First one is those are the 3 clients industry. One was healthcare, the other one was consumer packaged goods.
There's 3 different clients.
Yes.
On these 3 industries. So this is very confusing.
Yes.
Okay, advised. Yeah.
Sorry.
This is why the selected transaction experience is actually a better way to do this, because it's very clear. So did you see that that template?
I looked at the template. I just didn't know how to put at them, because it was like 3 different industries. Should I go one by one? If I did that, and it kind of moved the page to the second page.
Yeah.
So I kind of gave up and just put the bullet instead of doing the selected transaction experience, because my role was here again more of like a researcher.
What types of deals were these?
Advisory, all advisory deals.
M&A, debt capital, equity capital.
So the healthcare and
Advisory again
consumer,
is super general. It means
uh,
basically
health,
you're hired. Yeah.
healthcare and healthcare and consumer package was a dead deal that I remember. I don't remember infrastructure.
Then you shouldn't have it on here.
Okay,
Then
then
you don't even know what type of deal it was. If they push you on it, it just looks bad.
Okay, let's just do 2 core industries
Okay.
and then get rid of the infrastructure.
Okay, so these were debt deals.
Yes.
Let me think of how to do this. So like 3 core industries. It's just weird you're calling this a core industry. No, it was 2 deals you were on.
Yes.
Debt deals, right? So you
Yes.
could say research
And provide analysis
or
maybe.
2 debt transactions. Healthcare. Analysis is so vague. What type of analysis did you do for the debt transactions?
So
how much was the debt for?
How much?
Like you put, that's the thing is you put deals on here, then the deals are fair game for me to ask, well, how much were they raising? What kind of debt?
So they were raising.
Let's talk about the healthcare company first, because you have 2 on here. So tell me about the healthcare deal.
So they were selling. I think they were issuing stock to raise capital, like around $50 million.
That's not a debt deal. That's an equity deal.
No, bonds. I'm sorry, bonds.
Okay, bonds. Okay,
bonds, corporate bonds.
Yep.
To raise $50 million on the first one. It was 40 something, but I'm just gonna say 50 million. The second one, it was 2 deals. There was secure and unsecured. Which one is unsecured one? The mezzanine kind of debt.
Mezzanine tends to be unsecured. Yeah, it's more equity.
Yes, that's the one. The second one we're mostly working on, and that was like $10 million.
Consumer package.
Yes, that's the one that was in Dominican Republic.
The $10 million mezz consumer package, good deal. And this was the Dominican Republic one?
Yeah, that's the Dominican Republic.
And the 40 million healthcare one was the what? Brazil?
That's a Brazilian and Turkish, yeah. There was a pharmaceutical company.
As we're slow, so man, look at how long it's taking me to just unpack what you actually did. Right here.
Sorry.
This should be changed to the transaction, the 2 transactions. Absolutely.
Okay, I'll change that.
This is a middle market investment banking analyst. You did a deal with you did a $10 mezz, or you didn't do, but you worked on a $10 mezz consumer package goods deal. You did a $40 million not convertible note, subordinated note or bond offering for a healthcare company. Yeah, you're not saying what the healthcare company is. We have no idea what it is. We have no idea that it's in results, whatever. We have no idea what this consumer package. That's where there's a lot of meat that makes it look more banking. That's what we really need to unpack here, because there's a lot of potential value here. Now, the challenge is they're going to ask you, what did you specifically do? You say, I did research. What the hell does that mean? You can't just leave things in with broad strokes. It was advisory. It was research. And you know what that shows me? It shows me you don't really know. It shows me that you don't really understand what the bank was doing. And so we have to back into actually you understanding specifically how they're advising it, how they're, what was the exact services they were providing. So for the debt transactions, the $10 million mezz company, sorry, let's just stick with the $40 million bond issuance. So they were advising them, that healthcare company, to issue $40 million of subordinated debt, right?
Yes.
That was in Brazil?
And that was in the 40 billion healthcare was in Brazil, yes. The Turkish pharmaceutical company and Brazilian pharmaceutical company. They were kind of doing.
So who was raising the actual $40 million of subordinated?
That was a Brazilian company.
The Brazilian company, that's who you were advising. That was your client. Yeah. They were paying you.
I wasn't a senior. The
right, but the deal you worked on, the client was in Brazil, a healthcare company. And so what type of healthcare were they?
It was a pharmaceutical company, some drugs. I don't really remember fully, but
You need to get in touch with people who you worked with back then and try to get those documents, because you're gonna get eaten alive. To the point where I might even take it off, like, because that's how much of a, like, right now it's not good. Because, like,
okay, let me take that off, because
if I dig here,
yeah,
you're just flopping all over the place with broad generalizations, I'm just saying it's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
okay.
He didn't do anything. And if that's the case, that's fine. But if you're going to put it there, you need to be ready to, like, actually know these were two TED transactions. One was a $40 million subordinated note offering in Brazil. We were advising them and helping to go build a potential JV with Turkey. Cool. Oh, awesome. Boom, 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 boom. You rattle that off. Oh, that sounds really interesting and complicated. Yeah, to be honest, I was just doing more of the research to help them, with Bloomberg Morningstar, trying to understand the macroeconomic trends of da-da-da-da. Awesome. Great. But, like, for me to have to pull that out of you, it's not a good sign, because it means you're not comfortable about it. You're feeling, do you know what I mean? So for the actual interviews, it's going to be, you got to have, like, another layer of detail under there that's much, much more. I think there's potential here. Like, if you can get a little bit more detail and understand what it is, or at least sound like, get one layer deeper than what I was just asking you. Like, okay, what kind of healthcare company? It's a generic pharmaceutical company. I don't know, I'm making this up. It's a generic pharmaceutical company that specializes drugs in tuberculosis and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I'm making just having some base knowledge.
Issue with that, Patrick, is was like 3.5 years ago, as my very first experience. I don't remember, and I don't know if I reach out, they will share anything with me.
But you were doing research for these companies. You don't remember specifically what it was about? What was the research on then? It was more macroeconomic? It was all just macroeconomic?
It's the financial strength. It was a public company. It's a price earning ratio. It was bottom line, the bunch of ratio. How is the current asset, current liabilities, their working capital, and cash flow.
Fixed income,
yes,
all that stuff. Okay, so for me, that's good. But we should say, it's not research. It's like looking at financial health of. Wait a second. So they hired you to analyze themselves, or to analyze the company in Turkey that they were looking to do a JV for?
So I was doing this for the partners when they were talking, both the Turkish company and the Brazilian.
But
company.
The Brazilian company was hiring you guys to advise them on a potential joint venture with.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking. I don't know.
No. I think so. Again, I was at the bottom of the totem pole.
It doesn't matter. That's not an excuse, though. Like, if you're going to have it on your resume, you need to know it.
I see.
You're going to have it on your resume as potential deals. And the reason I push so much here is because this is where people fall apart. It's like, if you're just doing research and whatever, but you're not picking your head up and looking at what is the overall deal, what's actually happening here, who are we advising, why, what's the deal, what's the consideration, then it looks like it looks like you're not really passionate about it. That's the risk. If you're just putting your head down going, okay, here's the interest rate. What else should I do? Oh, here are the ratings. Here are the corporate debt level. Here's the fixed income charge. Oh, I can type this number into this number like a monkey could do it. So, like, that's the risk, is if you don't have any of these details, you don't really know. I know it was 3 years ago, and I know you're at the bottom. But I worry that, there's potentially something really good here if you can tease out those two transactions and put them on separate line items and say $40 million subordinated debt offering, healthcare company specializing in da-da-da, and then just say, analyzed fixed income charge of the potential joint venture, da-da-da-da-da-da. I think
maybe I should just take that off and put just overall general,
research analyst.
Yeah, research analyst, yes.
But then still, they're going to push you on that.
But then I can kind of provide what did I do? Like, I used the Bloomberg, Morningstar, and the company's own database to pull out the information on their basic bottom line financial health.
For who?
And for the companies that are involved in the deal.
For the potential targets?
Yes, and I just gave that to the company that were advising.
But try that. Yeah, so maybe just do that so we don't oversell it.
Yes, yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's kind of makes me squirm, because
I still think it's better. It's good for you to know what the deals were. because somebody's going to say like, oh, you did research, so what was the deal? And if you can't talk at all about it, it just looks like you didn't give a SHIT, which maybe you didn't. Like, I don't blame you. It's like random deals from, whatever, but like, it's good for you to know what they were. That's all.
I see. I will double check and make sure they're more like a very conservative, nothing to kind of, they can't push me on if they, because to be honest, again, it's been so long and first experience, and I don't want to lie. Maybe I was not like super involved, and I should have been, but it was like I was testing waters here. I didn't know what was, happening. It was just one of, okay, go do this and come back to this.
Right. So like, I'm a jerk right now and I can push you, but like, you don't want to be, you rather do it now with me than be in an interview.
Yeah, of course.
Tears you apart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate that. What I'm being like open about this, like how did this happen?
Totally.
Why?
And so like you do what you feel comfortable. I'll review it again.
Okay.
That one, but yeah, it just doesn't feel. I think the prepared and deliver 20 presentations to partners on macroeconomic trends for clients in Brazil and Spain, including interest rates. I think that's good. I think you can keep that. It's
but the first one,
this first bullet. Yeah, I don't know what you want to do.
I will change it. I'll send it back, just that line, to look at it and see if you like it. I can copy and paste it back into that. Yeah, just one line.
And then let's keep going because we're running out of time.
Yes.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So United States Navy multi-language analyst. What did we have there before?
Yes, you told me that to live this 3. There were 4 of them, 4 bullets, and I got rid of one of them. And
what was the name? What were you calling yourself previously? Multi-language analyst? Was that what it was called?
I was a voice graphic analyst. You said, why don't you put multi-language analyst? Just get it over with. And
people don't know. Yeah, people don't know what it was. Yeah. Okay. Some spacing issues here. Why is this this is top aligned and this is bottom aligned. See these little things? These little annoying. Here, let me delete this. This is my fault, actually. I think I did that. That wasn't you. And then put the space here. And I think between each one we did how much? 4?
4, yeah.
4. 4. Perfect. Okay. Now it looks good. And then 4, and then let's put this up to the top. Actually, this extra space is nice in between the main section. Extra space is good. Okay. Led a team of 4 language analysts and looking at reporting on 10. What were the awards? It's just called accommodation awards.
Accommodation awards, yeah, naval accommodation awards.
What does that mean?
So basically, it says that I'm gonna go by my rate. Petty Officer Davis, accomplished this, and he brought honor and courage to the country and the nation that he serves. It's an accommodation. But this is the name of the award. It's basically
it's called accommodation. Are we sure that's what it's called? How you spell it? Accommodation.
I'll double check, but 99% I'm sure. I'll put a note. But
who gets this? How many people get this?
In my team, only 2 of us got it.
Out of how many?
Out of 12. And it's coming from the Admiral, Navy Admiral. And this is the much more, I would say, I try to as sanitize as possible. I couldn't really talk about
this much. Is good. Led a team of 4 language analysts identify locating. Determine if use Navy assets or for Navy accommodation awards from the Admiral. From Admiral, no, I don't know how to say that.
Yes.
I'll just say
awards.
Yeah.
I try to get rid of the wording because you told me I'm verbose.
Yeah, no, it's better. It's better. Earned 4 Navy accommodation awards. Awards awarded. Granted.
Granted. If you put bestowed, that would be too much of a flowery word.
Bestowed, yeah, earned 4.
Yeah. Word given, maybe just given to, like the simplest. So next one, I was doing this internally. If you can't think of a company, so all the sailors on our team in my unit, there were close to 40 people. They have to take this language test every year, and there is a certain standard you gotta score above that in order to maybe pay you, and you can be kind of functionally your job. But since the language is a foreign language, not everyone kind of had an aptitude or a time to go look for. So what I did, I basically, based on my own taking tests and what I've read to kind of prepare for it, I take that, I turn into training. And most of the people, I think 15 people took the test and they scored went to 2 plus, 2 plus, 3.
That's great.
So that's that 30% improvement.
So, yeah,
I can talk about this.
We can get this to one bullet.
Okay.
Standard operating procedures is a very long way of saying just training.
See, it didn't go away. It was still Navy.
Yeah. Develop training.
Linga.
Training program. Training. This is good though. I can't spell. Training program.
So just
entry and advanced level language.
You can't get rid of that. It doesn't. I can't talk about it. What kind of language was both for entry and advanced. I can't get rid of that, and I can't talk about during an interview if they push me on it.
You can't, or you can.
Yeah, I can. That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, it doesn't have to be there. And unit, maybe a team. Maybe we can replace the word unit as a team. That much more equivalent with the private sector.
Sorry, we're here.
The word unit, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I just want to get it to one line.
I like.
How about
we just? Okay. How about we just get it? Okay, cool. It fits right there.
It was 30% or 25% plus or 30% plus.
Let's do 25 plus. Again, I'm gonna be conservative here.
Yeah.
Because I can't back that up. 30%. I think it's a bit of a stretch.
Okay.
I don't know what the last one is. Can we get rid of that? I don't know. Oh, okay. This is from the
research notes to traders and summarizing.
This is from the template that I was working based on template. Kind of got stuck in there. Sorry, you can get rid of that.
Get rid of this one. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Done.
Cool.
With that. Oh,
one question.
We're still going. It's getting better though. Look, it's breathing now.
Yes. Patrick, one question though. Yeah. I'm still in the reserve. Should I point that out on my resume or no? You said last time that I would tell you I'm kind of, of two mind whether to point that out or no, but.
Yeah, I think it's nice to know. Do you want to just say here? I mean, should we say present then? You're not. Are you still a language analyst in the reserve?
But that's an active duty, and I'm in the reserve. Yeah. Yes, I'm language analyst.
I think it can still go under the Navy experience, though.
I see. Okay.
You could say still, or you could say currently in the. What do you want to say?
U.S. Navy Reserve. Yeah. USNR Reserve. Yeah. Currently. As a language analyst. As a multi-language analyst. Cool.
Something like that.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure that.
It might make it more clear that you're still. I mean, is there any concern for them would this be a red flag to them, do you think?
I don't know. That's what I was asking you.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, I don't see why it's not preventing you. It's a reserve, right? It's not preventing you from taking a job or anything like that, right? So I think it's fine. And that's kind of isn't that what you're doing day to day a lot of times? Like
yes. Yeah, weekends. Once a month, weekends.
That's important. Working how many hours 10 hours per month?
8 to 10 hours, let's say.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay, here we go. Fun stuff. Okay, relevant coursework. Anything more around finance? Didn't you take finance courses?
I did international economics, introduction to econ, international finance. That's the one finance course I took.
You didn't take any like accounting?
I did accounting. I did a bunch of accounting courses, actually, two. Two
tell me what accounting?
Accounting was a managerial accounting, intro to accounting, accounting. I put all the names there, accounting names for you to see. I just take a note right now. I'll put the accounting.
Managerial accounting.
And there was one more that was more of a specific for the certificate that I was working on.
Is it finance? If it's not finance or economics or accounting, don't include it.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah, we want to see accounting. We want to see basically finance shops.
Yeah.
Dean's list all semesters, great. Q GPA 3.7, 4.0, great. Leadership apprentice, completed intensive week-long apprenticeship. I can't believe they're telling you to do this. Utilize the VIP program, essentially network 10. You utilize a network to.
I really asked. I
can't believe they tell you to do this shit.
I really asked reach out to organizers, and this is what they told me to put there. And I was kind of expecting your reaction. I'm like, Patrick's gonna say this is really bullshit, but I put it there, so no, it's fine. Up to you.
Yeah. You did talk with those 10 divisional leaders, right?
Yes. Actually, it's more than 10 now. I actually talked to now close to 15.
It's at the bottom. It's fine. Yeah.
I think their idea is that once I apply to the job.
Let's remove what does successfully network mean? Just say to instead of network, utilize the VA program to
consult,
learn more about what different divisions within
divisions.
Okay, say to connect with 10 senior divisional leaders
across the firm.
That's obvious. With 10 divisional leaders to learn more about. Sorry, I can be an ass.
No, you're good. You're good. I actually like this.
By the time you get through the mock interviews with me, so you're going to be like, "Oh man, I'm ready."
Yes, that's what I'm running. You know,
it was so easy, Patrick. They only asked me one technical question, and then they asked me about me. You know, the VIP program to connect with 10 senior divisional leaders to learn more about. Tell me the specific division.
It was commercial banking, investment banking.
Oh, we can write investment banking.
Yeah.
Commercial banking.
Investment research, the global investment research.
Perfect.
Sales and trading.
One sec.
Sure.
Yeah. What else?
It was a technology. It's funny, they were also brought. I also
like
got
IT
in touch with
technology, or what do you mean technology? TMT. What do you mean?
Technology within the firm, technology division.
Like, what do they do? Is it front office or back office, middle office?
It's a back office.
Yeah. Okay. I would remove that.
Okay. So you want only the front office ones?
Yeah.
It was like a. Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Awesome. I just want to make sure.
We're trying to brand you as like.
Yes. Yeah.
So we're going to put these out there. Okay.
So it was investment banking, commercial banking, investment research, sales and trading, equity research. Would that work?
Yep.
And it was also fixed income research group. I talked to them. Private wealth, would that work as a private front office? Or no?
Yeah, you could. I'm going to exclude that.
Okay. Cool.
Include. Wait, that's enough. You guys be able to with 10 to learn. Perfect. Utilize the VA program to connect with 10 senior division leaders in various groups, including investment banking, commercial banking, investment trading, equity, and research. Perfect. I'd leave it like that.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so we get a lot of keywords in there, people typing in, boom, your resume pops up more, everyone's happy, you get screened into the interviews. Okay, let's go to this is actually much more important than you think, this other information section. often overlooked by people finishing up their resume. They're like, oh, I'll just throw in some BS. So again, this modeling, can we say financial modeling? Will it fit here?
So a question on that. Like I said, I was given 2 courses to kind of prepare me the Goldman insider track on quant research and investment research. I wanted to I put 100+ hours. Each of those courses are 50+, 60+, and I wanted to add yours as a WSO courses too. So I kind of left it there because it's kind of an ongoing process. By the end of February, I want to finish minimum. It's gonna be more than 100+ hours.
That quant thing, it sounds back office coding / the quant stuff. Are they teaching you Python? What are they teaching you?
Oh no, there's let me just read the courses there if you want me to.
Yeah,
One second. Me. It's in front of me. 1 second. Sorry. All right. I'm just gonna go to the Goldman side and tell you exactly. There are 2 courses there are 2 tracks they gave me. I think both of them are front office, but I might be wrong because most of the time I am. So let's go back here. It's called Financial Edge. And so Goldman Sachs, Smile Trading Quantitative Modeling Track 2020. And the courses are here. The core course by Goldman Sachs. Then you got this Introduction to Consumer and Investment Management.
Sorry, start
then
up.
You got.
I was into this.
Sure.
Sorry.
No worries.
I'm listening.
So the first track is Trading / Quantitative Modeling Track 2020. That's the course. Within the course, you have the core about the Goldman Sachs, how the business principles and how it works. Then Introduction to Consumer Investment Management at Goldman Sachs. Then the next chapter is Introduction to Securities at Goldman Sachs. Then another one on Excel. Next one is Financial Accounting Review. Then you got the core revenue and costs. You got the EBIT, EBITDA, and EPS. Working capital, debt, equity. This is that one. And I'm going to move on to the second one. That's a bit different. Some of them overlap, some of them different. Second one is a investing track.
Okay.
And let's look at the courses here.
Sure.
So Excel comes first.
There's actual courses underneath each of the tracks.
Yes.
Very cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Very cool. Bunch of chapters to they told me do this and put that on their resume.
Yeah, absolutely.
To
that's kind of what I was saying. I think you could, this financial modeling section, we should definitely boost that. Like, you shouldn't say 6 modeling courses. You should say specifically what they are.
I see. Okay.
You should be saying Excel modeling, financial statement financial statement modeling, DCF modeling, valuation, M&A, exactly.
And should I put this as well? And the 2 Financial Edge from the Goldman courses, should I put them as there as well instead of 6 modeling courses? And okay, cool.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could do that, but like it might be overkill if you could just put the 6 from us.
Okay.
You don't have to say run by. You don't have to say our name.
Okay.
Thank you for saying our name, but I think what's more important is that instead of spent 100 hours, you can say 100+ hours of self-study and across 6 courses.
Across 6 courses. So here's the question, though.
Including. Okay. Sorry, let me just finish this.
No worries.
Financial statements, statement modeling, DCF, valuation, and valuation, LBO, and LBO model. Sorry, go ahead.
So the only reason I am kind of a bit up on the edge for this financial edge questions, because this is gonna when I push my resume, it's gonna get picked up by internal so I wanted to kind of see them that they gave me these courses and I took and I spent hours, but I'm just gonna run.
Yes. So then what you could say, you could say 100+ hours of self-study across 6 courses, including Excel. You can, in parentheses, you can say Financial Edge.
And the course
Oasis.
Okay.
Oh, you want to put the tracks here?
Yeah, tracks. Yeah. To kind of see the better one tracks.
Okay. Well, then you should put, if you're focused more on like the internal Goldman screening.
Yeah.
What you're worried about right now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm worried about.
So you could potentially have 2 resumes, one with like
Yeah.
financial edge where it has like those
Yes.
things, and then one
Yeah.
that's more general like this.
Yes.
Um,
So the one I can kind of send it after we are done here, and after I put the ISAR one, I can send it to the recruiters inside the Goldman, so they can have this, fully to go. And I know it's kind of end of February, early March. That's what they were kind of thinking to start the process. But I will be ready by then.
Yeah. The one thing I was thinking, by having this contract role up top, it's a little bit really what you've been spending your time. Sorry, I'm thinking about just overall, what you're trying to do here. And is it better to have the Navy, since you're still a reserve, working 8 hours per month there, or is it better where are you spending most of your time? It's this contract role, right?
Contract role, yes.
How many hours per week?
60 plus.
60 hours a week?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
More than that sometimes, yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Never mind. That's perfect then. Do we have to say contract role?
I mean, I just want to be honest. It is a contract. It is a year-long contract. But if you see that we should take that out, I'm gonna go with whatever you suggest or recommend.
Because I think a lot of these middle office and back office roles, that's what they do. They end up being contract roles. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
how many people next to you are in a contract role?
2.
Out of how many?
Out of I'm on 3 different teams. Each team has 4 to 5 people.
And so 2 of you guys are in the contract role.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think they may hire you full time?
Most likely, but I don't want to go to back office. Yeah.
But you may be forced to initially to take the benefits and the salary if we haven't lined anything up.
Yes, absolutely.
Or if you haven't made a successful transition in February, if you haven't gotten in front of the right people, you may be forced to.
Yeah.
So I think get me one last turn. I think where I'm struggling most is this ISAR internship.
I will. I'll put the ISAR.
I think that's our last thing. Let me actually save this right now. Save as. I'm gonna put desktop. Let's see, resume. We'll call it can't delete it for something. There. I'll just say VD Victor. Let's put 1220.
Okay. And you're gonna drop in that box, Google.
Yeah, I'll put it there right now. Up into that folder, so you can grab this and kind of.
Okay. So next step for me, I'll send you those 2, maybe 3 different versions for the first line, 1 bullet ISAR with the numbers and everything. You see which one works better, or maybe a combination of them. So I can go back and put that in. And also this financial edge. Should I put that on the financial modeling with the tracks, or how should I go about making sure this tracks courses that actually kind of pops out?
I don't know if they're going to actually be doing any searches there, but yeah, you can just have it there. Just have the name of the tracks there. Okay, you could say 100 plus hours of self-study across. You could remove it across 6 courses. You could say including XYZ track and blah 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 track.
Okay.
And then you could put in parentheses the name of the training firm, Financial Edge.
Okay. Awesome. Great. Patrick,
is that helpful?
Yes, it was great. Yeah, I got to run. I'm sorry.
No, it's good. Let's try to do this again in 2 weeks, because I did want to get to your LinkedIn. I have stuff around presentation and looking the part. Perfect. So, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a haircut, so COVID just messes everything. It's been like 4 or 5 weeks.
I just shaved my own. Look, I just shaved my own. I'm going bald, but I shaved my own hair.
I wouldn't look the part, so I need to kind of make sure it looks good, so I can get a picture.
You can't be a bum like me with a beard, with a white beard and a baseball hat doing this. So you need to actually look good. And yeah, I sent you information just for listeners to know about a white shirt, a blue tie, conservative tie. But we'll go through all that in the next phase, and then keep studying. Okay.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay. Bye.
Awesome. Bye.
And thanks to you, my listeners at Wall Street Oasis. If you have any suggestions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to send them my way, Patrick at wallstreetoasis.com. Until next time.